Ranking all the tank brawlers in Brawl Stars. So that means any of these brawlers that have the word tank under their name. But instead of ranking them based on the meta, I'm going to be ranking them based on skill, from least to greatest. So let's get into it. In last place, we have Rosa. Now I'm sorry to all you people who like to touch grass, but this brawler is just absolutely skillless. If for some odd reason you have never played Rosa, let me break it down for you. All you have to do is walk straight forward, pop your super to remove the need to dodge, and then spam auto aim. I'd even argue that it takes more skill to put on my socks in the morning than to play this brawler. One thing I do want to mention though is tanks in general are not a very high skill cap type of brawler. Nothing to be compared to something like a Mortis, but for Rosa specifically, when you can just ignore every other brawler's most basic mechanic, which is dodging to an extent, because you have a very powerful shield for your super and you have infinite healing while standing in a bush, that just leaves you to being a giant meat shield and one of the most boring brawlers in the game in my opinion. Coming in second to last place, we have Meg. And yeah, Meg is classified as a tank, which I would have never guessed. You might be wondering why I put this brawler as second to last for skill ranking, and that is because this brawler is nothing but spam, and you cannot change my mind. There's a reason she doesn't do much damage, and that's because her shots are just incredibly easy to hit. Old Meg, before they reworked her to start the game in mecha form, would have been a different story, but it's just not. And if you thought I was going to let that Willow get away with stealing my cube, you are out of your mind. I guess the only argument to be made about Meg is once you are knocked out of your mecha form, it can be a little bit difficult to survive, but then you just respawn in your mecha. There's really not much more to say about this brawler, and if you think this super takes skill, please seek help. Now in 9th place we have Buster. Now don't get me wrong, Buster is a great brawler, super good, but his attack is just something you should never be worried about missing, and if for some reason you are, I'm worried for you. In addition to his brainless attack, you also get a brainless super. Okay, maybe not completely brainless, but it's honestly just a great way to avoid dodging and to walk up on somebody with you or your team and kill them. And well, if you didn't really feel like walking up to them, don't worry. You have a gadget which will just pull them right to you and you can just finish them off easily. One thing we're not going to be talking about today, which really should be addressed, is how broken Melody is, and this is ridiculous. This Melody is either teaming with the other Melody at 100 trophies, which is very insane, or she's just straight up stupid, but either way, this is showdown. Coming in 8th place, we have Jackie, and even though Jackie isn't the most skillful brawler, she's actually pretty fun in today's meta. It may just be because she's very strong in the game right now, especially with her hypercharge, that she seems less skillful to play, because there was definitely previous metas where she certainly struggled in. Ever since she received her speed gadget, way back whenever that was, her skill just decreased by at least 50% of whatever it already was, but that's not to say she didn't need it, because she definitely did. They even reworked her super at one point, which really helped her out, but also with her counter crush star power, or Hardy Hat, whatever it's called, I'd be lying if I said she needs skill. Aside from that, it's not really like you have to aim your attack. You just run up to them, spam your attack, and get a kill. Also, I always thought of Wiener Boy as a worse version of Jackie. I know it's a completely different brawler and, well, he has like healing abilities and stuff, but I always thought it was weird that they added such a similar brawler. Now watch this. Speed gadget, super, and I clap their cheeks. As much as I love El Primo, there is just no way I can put him higher than 7th. I wouldn't say he's anywhere near Rosa when it comes to skill, certainly higher than that, but now that he charges his super by being attacked, it kind of removes the need to dodge or the want, really. Like, I know when I play El Primo, I kind of want people to attack me because once I get my super, I know it's over for them. And that's another thing, his super is really strong, and with his gadget, I can just yeet this Fang right back to where he didn't want to be, and there was absolutely no skill to that gadget, which is another reason why Primo is number 7 on this list. I wouldn't say this is a great map for El Primo though, and now I'm kind of in a rough situation. This Max and Melody is teaming with me. I definitely am not teaming with them. I'm going to put my X down so that they know. I can't really kill them right now. I guess I could. I want to kill this Melody. I'm sneaking up on this Melody. She doesn't know it, but she's going to die. Oh, got her. There's no way she escapes, right? There's no way. Oh my god, the shield. I always forget they have the shield. That shield needs a fat nerf. And now this now this Max is going to kill me. Wait a minute, I have my super back again. Maybe it's not over for me. I'm going to predict the Max going backwards, and I definitely didn't predict that right. Fang is dead, I am dead, and yeah. Bull is number 6 on this list. My favorite tank brawler. I would love to put Bull higher on this list, but I just can't. First of all, he's a shotgun brawler, so no need to aim. Second of all, he has a crap ton of hit points. Third, his super is very strong, and fourth, he has a very OP gadget in combination with his super. The only two things that Bull needs a little bit of skill for is dodging and timing and placement of your super. And just like I said with Primo, you charge your super from being hit, so sometimes you even want to take damage. In my opinion though, Bull is the most fun tank brawler to play, and that's just because you can charge his super incredibly fast and be aggressive. You guys do not even understand the urge to super on this Frank right now, but I know if I super on him, he's going to super on me as soon as my super is over and I die. Also, not to mention that he is teaming. So let's see what's going on. We got Buzz taking out this Willow, or at least trying to. I'm kind of in a tough spot because if I stay in this bush right now, then everybody's just going to target me once the storm closes in. So I really need to take somebody out. And these teamers are really getting on my nerves. So I'm doing it. I'm going in. Whatever, I don't even care. At least one of the teamers died. In 5th place, we have BB. And BB must take some skill because I am terrible with her. Terrible. If you've ever played with BB, especially in Brawl Ball, you can definitely tell the difference between somebody who's good with BB and somebody who's bad with BB. She's probably not too difficult to learn how to play with, but it all comes down to when to use your knockback, when to not attack, and when to recharge your knockback. If you just start running at enemies and start spamming your attack without thinking it through, you're probably going to die. And when it comes down to her super, obviously her super isn't very difficult to use at all, but a good BB player will strategically use that bubble to get the most value instead of just spamming it whenever it's available. Just like any other brawler, with BB, dodging is very important, but with BB you can take it to a whole new level. With her speed star power, I believe you have the fastest movement speed in the game aside from Max's super, and depending on your skill when it comes to dodging, you can become an invincible BB. Or so it seems. Chances are you've come across a BB that is incredibly hard to hit because of her fast movement speed and dodging capabilities, and that is why BB is number 5 on this list. Taking 4th place is Frank, and you know, now that I'm thinking this through, I think BB may have been higher on this list, and Frank maybe not 4th place. Honestly, he's a very difficult brawler to place when it comes to skill because, well, he's a very bad brawler. I spent quite a bit of time of trying to decide where to place these brawlers, and I even asked my Discord server to help with this, but when it comes down to it, I kind of thought, you know, it all comes down to timing with Frank. Kind of like BB. One thing you definitely cannot do with Frank is just run in there and spam your attacks. Well, I guess maybe against certain brawlers like Jesse, but if you're playing 3v3, the enemy team is just not going to let you do that, and no matter how many hit points you have, they're all going to kill you before you get that close. The only reason I would say he doesn't take skill is because he has so many hit points and he charges his super off of being attacked, but does that make up for his attack stun? I guess when it comes down to Frank, just like BB, it's all about your attack timing, and if you can get that attack timing down perfectly, you're still gonna die, but you'll die less. For number 3, we have Ash. Now bear with me. Ash is not a great brawler, but he's not terrible. You're probably a little bit shocked that I put him at number 3, but let's talk about it. First up, unlike almost every other tank brawler, with Ash you actually have to aim, or most times, unless you're like right on top of them. And that's because he has a slight shot delay, kind of like Frank, except it doesn't stun him. But needing to aim and having a shot delay automatically bumps him up in the ranks. Secondly, using your rage ability wisely, and actually just getting your rage ability. Being aware of when you should be charging forward to get kills, score goals, or just get better positioning is all very important with Ash, especially since his super really isn't going to help you much. It's definitely not an El Primo super. He can be a very good brawler, but there is a huge difference between somebody who really understands how to play him and somebody who just thinks they know. For the second most skilled tank brawler, I put Hank. Now hold that thought. Hank is kind of like Frank in a way. They are both so bad that it takes skill to play them. I'll be honest though, even with how bad of a brawler Hank is, I have seen some Hank players that are just absolutely cracked. I am not one of them. There must be a huge skill issue between good and bad Hanks, and I guess that all comes down to his very unique mechanics. When playing Hank, a good player is going to understand that you're not there to get kills. You're there for positioning. Your bubble takes up a lot of space. And I promise you, no Bell is going to voluntarily get smacked with 4,000 damage to the face. They are going to back up. Aside from his basic attack, he actually has a very strong super. And a player who is very skilled with Hank is not only going to use it in very clutch scenarios, but they're going to be able to use it even from a little bit of a distance to snipe enemies because they understand the angles. So as odd as it is that Hank is taking second place for the most skilled tank brawlers, maybe you'll be able to understand it from my point of view, and let me know in the comments. Now for the number 1 most skilled tank brawler in the whole game, I'm gonna go with Daryl. I'm sure some of you guys are shocked by this choice, and I can understand that. But the only reason why I put Daryl as number 1 is because his super mobility. And you can do incredible things with it. Right now, Daryl is nowhere near the top of the meta, but somebody who is skilled with Daryl is going to be able to dominate with him. Daryl is able to take down every brawler in the game, even Shelly's. Yep, it can be difficult, but it can definitely be done. Like I said before, the reason Daryl is the most skillful tank brawler is because of his super mobility. You can bounce off of walls and other objects, hitting people behind walls without them really expecting it, or you can really extend your role by going over water. But the best thing about Daryl is your ability to chain your supers. Your supers charge incredibly fast if you get kills with them. And with his rolling reload star power, you have the ability to do double rolls, triple rolls, even quad rolls. It's not the easiest thing to do though, which is why I say Daryl can be a really high skill cap brawler, well, when it comes to tanks. All I'm saying is don't knock it before you try it. Daryl can be very OP. That's it for this one. If you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a like. Let me know what you guys think about the rankings. Let me know what you guys would do differently. And hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next. Peace.